I mean, the Golden State Valkyries didn't just beat the Las Vegas Aces, they kicked their whole ass. 68-95. The Las Vegas Aces can only score 68 points with the squad that they have. What is going on in Las Vegas right now?
Here's the twist no one's talking about. The most valuable player on the court that night wasn't a decorated Olympian or a household name. It was Kate Martin. Yep. The rookie Vegas let walk like she was a spare part. The same Kate Martin who came off the bench last season and quietly held the team together with hustle, boards, and heart. When the Aces left her unprotected in the expansion draft, nobody blinked. Not the media, not the fans, not even the franchise. And now, she's laughing all the way to the box score.
All right, I got to give a shout out to Golden State Valkyries because boy, did they put an ass whooping on Vegas. Boy. And I'm not talking about some 15-point win. No, this is a 4-quarter, 27-point spanking in front of a sold-out crowd in Golden State. Vibes was immaculate. Love to see.
Martin didn't just outplay expectations. She outplayed the very stars she used to support. More rebounds than A'ja Wilson. More points than Jackie Young and Juel Lloyd combined. That's not a coincidence. That's a revelation. Kate Martin wasn't filler. She was fuel. And now, with the Valkyries, she's driving the bus while the Aces are stuck at the curb wondering what just happened.
On paper, they should be kicking everybody's ass. Literally everybody. Like, A'ja Wilson put the entire Aces on her back and is doing everything she can to help her team, and it's just not going anywhere.
If you're the kind of viewer who loves when overlooked players flip the script, now's the time to support that energy. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop a comment below with Money Martin if you saw this storm coming. We break down stories the mainstream ignores, and your support helps us go even deeper.
Lost a lot, okay? And so I was like, yeah, we gotta wait. Give them time. But we didn't set up here and lost by damn near 30 to an expansion team. Come on now.
Let's not sugarcoat it. Something is broken in Vegas. When a championship team looks this disoriented, it's never just about the scoreboard. After the loss, Coach Becky Hammon didn't blame strategy. She didn't blame shots not falling. She blamed effort, heart, mental toughness. "I'm not coaching effort," she snapped, a message that echoed like a warning siren. Translation? The locker room's falling apart and the glue that held it together is long gone.
Had, our rookie from last year, okay, Kate Martin, the Iowa girl, you know what I'm talking about, who rolled in this thing with Caitlin, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, when she was coming on our bench last year, she was a Valkyrie, okay? And she had more boards with 7 than the best player in the world had with 6, okay? Also, Kate Martin, to make it even worse, had more points by her damn self than Jackie Young and Juel Lloyd put together. Kate had 12. Them girls together had 9. The hell is going on?
Watch the body language. The disconnect is obvious. A'ja Wilson looks like she's carrying the world, not a team. Jackie Young has disappeared offensively. Juel Lloyd, brought in to fill Kelsey Plum's shoes, is shooting bricks and dodging questions. The Aces aren't just losing games, they're losing themselves. And no amount of star power can fix a fractured identity. But if you think this collapse started with the Valkyries game, you haven't been paying attention. This mess has been brewing for months.
Our interest in the Valkyries, whatever you want to say, like, if anything, even if it's just a passing interest, there are people that are interested in the Valkyries. And they destroyed the Aces. I mean this when I say this. The Aces, I've never seen the Aces look this bad before. And the Valkyries are for real. They're 3-5 on the season, but they play so hard.
How do you dismantle a dynasty? Not with a single move, but with a string of arrogant decisions disguised as strategy. Letting Kate Martin go was one thing, a glaring misjudgment. But trading Kelsey Plum? That was the spark that lit the fire. Vegas acted like they had an endless talent factory. They believed plugging in Juel Lloyd would instantly recreate their championship chemistry. What they got instead was a blueprint for collapse.
Yes, has there been a common denominator, a similarity between those games? The one was in Seattle, I believe.
Yeah. Following people around defensively, being really soft mentally, just letting people come out and punk us, hit us, grab us, and us whining instead of buckling down and saying like, okay, that's what's going to be, then let's go. And I told them in there, I said, we have effort has to come from your heart. The schemes, the discipline, the habits, that's your head. And right now, we not only have a heart issue, but it's letting us affect our head issue. But I'm not going to coach effort. It's just one thing I can't deal with. You're in charge of your effort. I guess I'm in charge of your playing time. So that's the one way I can affect it. But, I've never been a coach to pull for mistakes, but I will pull for effort.
These weren't bench warmers. Martin was the emotional engine. Plum was the fire starter, the closer, the alpha when Wilson couldn't get it going. The aces treated them like interchangeable parts, like names on a spreadsheet. And now those parts are powering other teams while Vegas stalls out. The worst part? It was all avoidable. The warning signs were there. But Vegas gambled with the wrong chips, and the house never wins when it bets against its own soul.
I'm sure Kelsey Plum won't never come out loud and sit here and say she happy to be the number one dog, not be able to drive her own car at her own speed. But you could tell in her body language that she was absolutely happy to be able to do what she want out on the floor and just really get to her spots, really run her team the way she want to. And she showed you she can be a lead dog, 37 points for your first debut as a LA Spark, man. Hats off to Kelsey Plum.
If you thought Kelsey Plum would fade in LA, think again. The moment she stepped on the court for the Sparks, she unleashed a performance that will be talked about all season. 37 points, 11 for 19 shooting, 5 assists, 5 steals. It wasn't just dominance, it was historical. No WNBA player had ever opened a season like that. And she did it smiling, confident, completely free.
Plum led the team with 28 points, 6 3-pointers, and 8 assists. She has been on a tear to start the season. I'm low-key surprised she has been mentioned in MVP talks. Granted, Nafisa Collier is my pick to win MVP, but I definitely think Kelsey Plum should get some love.
This wasn't just a revenge game. It was a message. I never needed Vegas. Vegas needed me. Plum looked liberated, running her offense, calling her shots, and owning every inch of the hardwood. Meanwhile, her old team was getting embarrassed by the same Valkyries she just cooked for a near 40-piece. That's not coincidence. That's karma doing wind sprints. And if you think Plum's breakout was a fluke, let's talk numbers and what they reveal about who's really elite this season.
And while Kelsey's success hasn't yet translated into overall success for the LA Sparks, not seeing as many wins as we'd assume with the amount of stats that she's putting up, she is exactly what the Sparks needed. She's able to read the floor, make plays, also being a very consistent offensive force, and she's Kelsey Plum. And so after ESPN's article came out, the conversation around MVP and Kelsey Plum have been sort of happening at the same time. With a lot of people saying that while it may be way too early, Kelsey Plum is currently leading that race.
A'ja Wilson has long been the face of the franchise and the league. A 3-time MVP, a dominant force on both ends of the court, and the emotional compass of the aces. But lately, that compass looks broken. In 4 of her last 5 games, Wilson's been held under 20 points, something that only happened 3 times in all of last season. Statistically, she's still solid, but the impact, it's dwindling.
Time for a shot. Martin, fire away!
This isn't about talent. Wilson's still got it, but you can see it in her play. She's forcing shots, pressing too hard, overthinking every possession. It's what happens when a player knows, deep down, that she's carrying more than she can lift. Her effort's still there, but effort without help? That's just burnout. And when your leader is burning out, the rest of the team crumbles right behind her. Now imagine dealing with all of that, and knowing your 2 most dependable teammates are out there thriving without you.
Yeah, when she played with the Wings and even when she played with the Sparks, she is one of them bully ball. Oh, she just plays so strong, so aggressive on the defensive end, on the offensive end, making those dives for the loose ball, like just using her body to its fullest capacity. But I do love the way that Kelsey Plum helped spread the floor, because De'Ara Canby really didn't have to go in the paint and really do a bunch of even though she did get a double-double, but she didn't have to do crazy Mama D type of banging. And because like last year to get the Sparks to win games, Mama D was down that thing putting in the work. She had to put on her hard hat and had to put in a lot of work.
Mark your calendar, June 11th. That's when Kelsey Plum comes back to Vegas. Not as a tribute act, but as the lead vocalist of a new band. The Sparks are coming to town and Plum's holding the mic. Her last return was sentimental. This one, personal. She's putting up better numbers than Aja Wilson. She's leading more effectively. She's doing everything Vegas hoped she wouldn't after they traded her away.
With Kelsey Plum being one of them, she now plays for the LA Sparks, after playing 6 seasons with the Las Vegas Aces. And while it's super early into the season, I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, Kelsey Plum has been thriving in LA. She's currently averaging 25.2 points per game, currently the second highest in the league, followed only by Nafisa Collier. She also has a career-best 5.5 assists per game. And while Kelsey's success hasn't yet translated into overall success for the LA Sparks, not seeing as many wins as we'd assume with the amount of stats that she's putting up, I mean, she is exactly what the Sparks needed. She's able to read the floor, make plays, also being a very consistent offensive force, and just, I mean, she's Kelsey Plum. And so after ESPN's article came out, the conversation around MVP and Kelsey Plum have been sort of happening at the same time.
And the vibe? Unmatched. When asked about adjusting to life in LA, Plum didn't even mention basketball. She said figuring out DoorDash was harder. That's the energy of someone completely in control. On and off the court. She's not bitter. She's better. Meanwhile, Wilson is stuck giving post-game interviews about effort and chemistry while getting steamrolled by expansion teams. That's a brutal split screen.
But, like, we're seeing Aja Wilson get Ronda Rousey. The Ronda Rousey comparisons. Not the Ronda Rousey. Like, this might be, in my opinion, the most disrespectful thing anyone's ever said about Aja Wilson. She reminds me of Ronda Rousey. Put 2 H's in Ronda Rousey for no reason. But when the competition wasn't that great, she looked like a megastar. But now with these new players up and coming and the quality of WNBA, she's looking very mediocre.
The Aces strutted into 2024 like they were untouchable. 2 straight titles, Olympic resumes, and a belief that Aja Wilson could carry the entire franchise on her back. But championships aren't built on talent alone. They're built on cohesion, role players, timing, and most importantly, trust. When Vegas let Plum and Martin go, they didn't just lose stats. They lost the things that don't show up on paper: leadership, grit, hustle. Kate Martin was the stabilizer, the one who brought energy when the team looked flat. Plum was the firepower, a player who could shift momentum in a single quarter. Now they're gone. And Juel Lloyd, the big-name replacement, is shooting 1 for 8 while fans are left wondering if she's even awake on the court. The Aces thought they could cut corners. Turns out they cut out their own foundation. And the fallout isn't just showing up on court. It's reshaping how the league sees Vegas entirely. There's a quiet shift happening. The betting markets? They've moved on. Vegas is no longer the odds maker's darling. Analysts are starting to pull their MVP bets. Fans are seeing the cracks. And behind the scenes, teams are studying what the Valkyries just did, not just tactically, but psychologically. Because once the mystique is gone, so is the fear. And the Aces have never looked less intimidating. Martin and Plum didn't leave as villains. They left as professionals. And now they're thriving. Because they were never the problem. They were the blueprint. The Aces ignored the warning signs. They banked on name value and forgot about chemistry. And now, they're getting checkmated by rookies and rebuilds. Wilson looks isolated. The locker room is tense, and the rest of the league is circling like sharks who smell blood in the water. This wasn't just a 27-point loss. It was a revelation. The Golden State Valkyries didn't just steal a win. They exposed a myth. They showed the world that dynasties crumble fastest from the inside. The Aces thought they were building a legacy. What they built was a house of cards. And the moment Kate Martin's name got called in that expansion draft, the countdown to collapse had already begun. The question isn't whether Kate Martin and Kelsey Plum are thriving. That's obvious. The real question is how long Vegas can keep pretending everything is fine while the scoreboard screams otherwise. Because if June 11th doesn't jolt them awake, nothing will. The Aces gave away their engine and their spark, and now they're wondering why the car won't move. If you believe in real stories, in underdogs rising, and in exposing what the mainstream won't say, subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, drop a comment with your take on Vegas collapse, and turn on notifications. Because the next chapter? Oh, it's coming fast.